Donald Trump just held this really something else of a press conference with, I think it was 5 African leaders at the White House, where the clown in chief really put his stunning ignorance on full display. In a truly unbelievable moment, he turned to the president of Liberia and congratulated him on his command of English. Liberia's official language, of course, is English. Here, play this clip.
Well, thank you. It's such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well.
Very
And
good,
they,
sir.
Yeah. So that guy was impressed that the president of a country whose official language is English speaks English. It's like being shocked that the sky is blue, isn't it? It's a level of like condescending ignorance that is genuinely staggering for any world leader. Right after that, the whole spectacle continued when a reporter asked a pretty darn simple question about his own administration's actions. He was asked if he'd figured out who was it that ordered a halt on weapon shipments to Ukraine, a major decision with huge geopolitical consequences. You'd think the so-called leader of the free world would have a clue about, huge weapon deals involving a war zone, but instead, what did we get? We got a spectacular display of a person just completely contradicting himself in the span of about 15 seconds. Here, this is what this person actually said when he was asked a basic question about his own government. I'm going to play you the clip.
Munitions halted to Ukraine. Have you since been able to figure that out?
well, I haven't thought about it because we're looking at Ukraine right now and munitions, but I have not gone into it.
What does it say that such a big decision could be made inside your government without you knowing?
I would know. If a decision was made, I will know. I'll be the first to know. In fact, most likely I'd give the order, but I haven't done that yet. Yeah, please.
He starts with, I haven't thought about it. And then he ends with, I'll be the first to know and I'd give the order. It's just, it's pure weapons grade gaslighting from a narcissist who cannot ever, under any circumstances, admit he doesn't know something, even right after he just admitted it. But don't you worry, because while he knows nothing about national security, he's apparently an economic savant who, understands numbers better than anyone. A reporter then asked him to explain how he calculated his latest round of tariffs, and the answer is, well, it's a journey into the mind of a complete fool. It's one of those moments that feels like it should be a sketch, but it's painfully real and it's affecting the wallets of actual people. He acts as if he's got this like top secret big brain formula for international trade that nobody else is smart enough to comprehend. So this is what the stable genius said about his economic strategy. Let's play this clip.
Sir, can you explain how you calculated your latest round of tariffs? Was there a formula that was used? And do you expect any of these countries to face tariffs as well?
The formula was a formula based on common sense, based on deficits, based on how we've been treated over the years, and based on raw numbers. And we're going to have a couple of more coming out today. Brazil, as an example, has been not good to us, not good at all. We're going to be releasing a Brazil number, I think, later on this afternoon or tomorrow morning. But they're based on very substantial facts and also past history. You look at the past history, we never had anybody in the White House that understood the numbers or were into it like I have. We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs, hundreds of billions, and we haven't even...
A formula based on common sense and how we've been treated. I mean, come on. That's not an economic policy. What is that? It's how a child decides who to share their toys with. This character is just pulling numbers out of his rear end based on his feelings and then bragging about the tariffs that American consumers are the ones actually paying. From the profound economic genius, we then pivot to the man who just makes stuff up on the spot to score points. He then had the audacity to claim that gasoline prices were down to $1.99 a gallon in 3 states. I mean, I just filled up my car yesterday, and let me tell you, the number on that pump did not start with a 1. It's this constant, pathetic attempt to create an alternate reality where he's some kind of miracle worker, and any data to the contrary is just a lie from his enemies. This is the kind of pure fantasy he's peddling to people who I guess he thinks are too stupid to check the gas station on the corner. Here is the quote from this person.
Things are more costly. No, they're much less costly. Yesterday, $1.99 a gallon. There's 3 states. We're selling gasoline at $1.99. You haven't seen that for a long time. And I brought costs way down. Just about every cost. I can't think of a cost that went up, but just about every cost. So what they do is they lie. I mean, they take ads. You'd almost think that the advertising station would stop it because they know it's wrong. It's such a lie. All you can do is say it's a lie and explain it. I guess I have the ability to explain it at conferences like this. So
that is, of course, a complete and utter lie, and he knows it's a lie. But the strategy of this kind of person is to say the lie with confidence, right? And then accuse anyone who points out the truth of being the real liar. It's a classic gaslighter move, straight out of the strongman's playbook. If his domestic policy is based on fantasies, well, his foreign policy is based on who kisses his butt the most. He was asked about the very real national security concern of China buying up farmland right next to our military bases. This is a topic Republicans, they love to fearmonger about constantly, this, creeping threat from the Chinese Communist Party. But when their guy is asked about it directly, the tough talk it vanishes into thin air because he doesn't want to upset his dictator buddy. I mean, seriously, this is his response to a direct question about a potential espionage threat from a major adversary. Listen to this character.
Also announced this week that they are going to start limiting Chinese ownership of American farmland. Why do you think that the Chinese have been buying up all this farmland in our country so close to military installations?
Well, I don't want to get into that. I have a very good relationship with President Xi. We're going to see, and I'm going to, they're going to be making a recommendation to me, but we have a very good relationship. As you know, they're paying a lot of tariffs to the United States now. And so I'm not going to get into that right now.
He doesn't want to get into that. I mean, this coward is so transparently prioritizing his imagined friendship with a brutal dictator over the security of his own damn country. All it takes is for a power-hungry leader to be nice to him, and he will happily sell out American interests without a second thought. Next, the conversation turned to one of this guy's favorite topics, completely just demolishing the separation of church and state. He was asked about the Johnson Act, and his response showed exactly how he views religious institutions for him. They aren't places of worship or community. They're potential tax-free super PACs for his cultist movement. I remember learning about this in, primary school? I think so. It's a foundational American principle he's just gleefully taking a sledgehammer to. He doesn't just support churches becoming political weapons. He absolutely loves the idea. This is what the con man said about it.
Do you support that?
I love the fact that churches can endorse a political candidate. I think so, because we have a lot of respect for the people that lead the church, for the pastors and the ministers and the rabbis and all different leaders, all different religions, and people respect those people. And I think there's nothing wrong. It was a very big penalty if that took place just a little while ago. They had a thing called the Johnson Act, and it was a very big penalty. I think it's great if a pastor, minister, priest, rabbi, and we could very much go into your religion, by the way, which is something that people are having great respect for throughout the.
Of course, he loves it. I mean, it gives him a tax-exempt army of political operatives dressed in religious robes. This has like nothing to do with religious freedom and everything to do with creating a state-sanctioned propaganda network. It's a move straight from the playbook of every wannabe dictator in history. And just when you think the bar can't, possibly go any lower, the president of Senegal figures out the game in real time. He saw that flattery and bootlicking work, but he decided to go one step further and just offer the president of the United States a personal business deal. This wasn't some, backroom conversation. It was a live broadcast press conference at the damn White House. After years of Republicans screeching about the Biden crime family, here we have a foreign leader openly, well, it sounds like bribing the sitting president with a branded golf course deal, and not a single person in that party bats an eye. This is the most openly transactional, corrupt moment of the entire meltdown, and I need you to see it for yourself. This is what our foreign policy has become.
Senegal has exceptional opportunities to offer, including in the area of tourism. So perhaps an investment could be made in a golf course in Senegal. It would just be 6 hours by flight from New York, from Miami, from Europe, or from the Gulf. And that would be an opportunity for you to show off your skills on the golf course too. Thank you for your attention, sir.
Nice. It's some way to show off my skills. It's a long trip to show off my skill, but that's really nice. And he's led a very interesting life. He looks like a very young person. He's a little older than.
Look, that's it right there. That's the whole ball game, isn't it? This isn't about policy. It's about profit for this huckster. And every foreign leader now knows that the key to American favor is to line the pockets of the Trump family. This man is not a president. He's more like a mafia boss holding the country hostage for personal gain. And anyone who can't see that is, I don't know, just willfully blind. Look, that's what's sitting in the Oval Office. And the problem here, it isn't just that he's a fool who thinks, Liberia just discovered the English language. The real problem, the deeper thing, is that his entire worldview is built on this foundation of transactional corruption and personal grievance. What we saw in that press conference wasn't an anomaly. It was a mission statement for an administration that sees public office as a tool for personal enrichment and nothing more. If you're as disgusted by this as I am and you want to keep seeing this kind of stuff get called out for what it is, then maybe do the things that help the drill. Hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you don't miss anything. The truth is, I guess, in today's media landscape, every like and every share is kind of a middle finger to the people who want this stuff normalized, right? Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.